Pretty pleased about the way this is cleaning up. My God, I did not think it was going to be so easy. Is there ever anything that happens on a boat that's easy? And that's that done. It's come up nice. Where is my lunch? Now I bought it. Be more peaceful without that motorbike thumping around. Never mind. Leftovers. Creamy chicken and veggie Thai style. As I mentioned in an earlier video, it may seem strange that such fulfillment and even contentment could be had from, what appears to be a bit of a grotty, not so comfortable environment. But it's the boat work itself, what you're wearing, the food that you're eating, the drinks that you can have access to, a clean environment, proper tables and chairs. It really does become unimportant when you're doing something that means so much to you. And as I say, the physical work alone actually brings a lot of really good feelings and fulfillment. Pretty pleased about the way this is cleaning up. My God, I did not think it was going to be so easy. Is there ever anything that happens on a boat that's easy? Jeez. Yeah, like maybe this is the first time. I actually cannot, mind you, I'm not saying there wasn't, but I cannot possibly think of anything that has gone a lot easier. This has gone easy. I'm very, very pleased. Delicious. And that's that done. It's come up nice. Nice cove in there, make it much easier and problem free for when the boat's taken out of the water in the future. Well, and for even putting the first anti-fouling on. So I should be spraying the whole starboard side of the hull today from the waterline down, which I'm looking forward to. Gets this whole half done, just another coat of this primer which will help protect it, given the boat's been out of the water, given it's been so long between the last lot of paint and now. So yeah, and this has been nice. I've really enjoyed it because it's a break from the internal wire brush grinding. My God, that is such hard work, just physically draining. So yesterday, as is recorded, I gave the boat a really good clean with that resin product, which was just brilliant. So today just sanding, and then end of the day get a coat of paint on, which will be great. But it's been such a break from the internal, just all that cleanup is just so physically draining. So this has been good because it's a huge project of its own that needed to be done at some stage, which is being done. And by the time I've done this, I mean, even today, I feel ready to go back to the internal stuff. So it's been a good break, and I've got something significant done in the meantime. Just thought I'd comment regarding the band-aid on my nose. It's because with all the internal work, having to wear these masks constantly for like 9-10 hours a day when I'm doing all that wire brush grinding, the skin over my nose bridge was actually starting to get a little bit raw and not so happy. So putting this on while I'm using these, and hopefully I only have about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 days of the internal wire brush grinding. Fingers crossed. Anyway, onto this. As I said in that prior clip, it was so nice to put all of that wire brush grinding aside and do something else. Also, as you can see, the weather was just absolutely beautiful. It wasn't hot, it wasn't cold, it wasn't windy, no rain, blue skies. Really nice to be outside, get some good work done, see some big significant change and some advancements. So here what you see me doing is sanding below the waterline. Now, in my exuberance when I originally sprayed the hull blue, I didn't put the time into setting up the waterline, so that's why there's quite a bit of blue paint below the waterline. It really doesn't matter. Scuffing it up and making it rough and putting the undercoat over the top of it will cover everything. That gear sticks to anything. So on top of the high build, of course, will go the anti-foul undercoat and then the anti-foul. So it really won't matter that there is blue below the waterline. So yeah, it was just really nice to be outside and do something that was enjoyable, not particularly physically so draining, and get something significant achieved. Something else to mention here regarding still boats and the sanding thereof. Unlike timber or fiberglass, basically you have to be very careful when you're sanding a still boat, because really what you're trying to do by painting the still is to protect it. If you get started with a sanding machine of any description, or even a torture board, those long sanding boards where you can get handles on the boards and go hard trying to make a surface nice and fair and flat. The problem with that on a steel boat is if there's any steel underneath the paint which might be raised slightly in comparison to its surrounding, it will rub all of that paint off, and you're removing exactly what you're trying to put on to protect the steel. So what I found was, although it's time consuming, it's much better to do a lot of sanding by hand. That way you can really control whether you're removing paint that you shouldn't be. Here I am using the orbital sander. Now these things can be controlled much better than other electric types of sander, I find. The other thing I did was I reduced the revs, the speed on the sander, so that instead of just going flat out and rubbing off a lot of paint, I was able to really control how much paint was being removed. As mentioned, I found that it's really important to take very seriously when you're sanding the steel, because if you're going to be removing the paint that you've been putting on, you're going to lose the paint protection that you've worked so hard to put on. As I explained in episode 5, the painting itself, especially spray painting, is the easiest part of the whole painting process. I have to concentrate when I'm painting, but there's another side to it linked, which is it's actually very relaxing, and I think that's because it's so rewarding to see the paint go on. In the next episode, people. Okay, so this is the last section in the middle of the boat here. Believe it or not, but I actually finally complete the last of the wire brush grinding. Thank goodness. It is a really, really good thing to see the last of.